In a quiet village surrounded by thick forests and vast farmlands, there stood a mighty church known as the Holy Light Assembly. The church was the heart of the village, and nearly every man, woman, and child worshipped there. The people believed strongly in God, and the church had a rule. Every member had to be baptized in the sacred river that flowed just outside the village. This was done once every year, and it was a time of great joy, celebration, and spiritual renewal. For many years, everything seemed peaceful. The people of the village lived happily, their crops flourished, and they had no fear of any evil. But in the silence of the night, something dark was watching. Deep in the shadows, spirits that had once been cast out from the land returned. These were spirits of darkness, fallen souls who despised the light of God. They saw the river where baptisms took place, and out of jealousy, they sought to corrupt its purity. At first, no one noticed a change. The water looked the same, clear, fresh, and inviting. But beneath the surface, the spirits held their secret gatherings. They came dressed in their sacred colors, black and red, each representing the different ranks of their evil kingdom. They whispered dark words into the water, tainting it with their wickedness. But the church remained unaware, continuing their annual baptisms. Then one year, everything changed. After the baptism ceremony, strange things began to happen to the members of the church. Some of the strongest believers fell sick with illnesses no medicine could cure. Others, who had once been wealthy and successful, lost everything overnight. Families that had lived in peace for generations suddenly found themselves in endless fights. Husbands quarreled with their wives. Children disrespected their parents, and friends became enemies. But the most terrifying changes were those that affected the souls of the people. Men who had never tasted alcohol before became drunkards. Women who were once virtuous and faithful became trapped in the chains of fornication. Many abandoned the church, turning instead to idols and false gods. The entire village was thrown into confusion, and the once holy church became a place of division, strife, and sin. The pastor of the church, a humble and devoted man named Pastor Elias, was deeply troubled. He prayed day and night, asking God why his people were suffering so greatly. He fasted. He read the scriptures, but no answer came. The darkness only seemed to grow stronger. He watched in horror as his once holy congregation crumbled before his eyes. But then, one fateful night, something extraordinary happened. As Pastor Elias lay in bed, exhausted from days of fasting, an angel appeared before him in a bright, golden light. The angel's voice was powerful yet gentle, shaking the very walls of his room. "Pastor Elias," the angel said, "your people are perishing because of the water in which they were baptized. The river has been defiled by spirits of darkness. Their power grows stronger with every soul that enters it. If you do not act now, your church will be lost forever." Tears filled the pastor's eyes. "What must I do?" he asked desperately. "Gather your people," the angel commanded. "Take them back to the river and pray without ceasing. The battle will not be easy, but if you stand firm in faith, the spirits will be defeated." At dawn, the pastor called the entire church together. He told them everything, and though fear gripped their hearts, they knew they had no choice but to fight. With candles, crosses, and holy books in their hands, they marched toward the cursed river. As they reached the water's edge, an eerie silence filled the air. The wind stopped blowing, the birds ceased their songs, and even the river seemed to freeze. Then, suddenly, the water began to ripple violently. One by one, dark figures emerged from the depths, their eyes glowing like embers. They were the spirits, the ones who had been feeding off the souls of the villagers. Their black and red garments fluttered as they stood upon the water, unafraid. "Why have you come?" one of them hissed. "This river belongs to us now. Leave, or you will regret it." But the people of the church did not run. Instead, they fell to their knees and began to pray. They called upon the name of God, shouting his praises, singing hymns of deliverance. The spirits shrieked in pain as the power of prayer filled the air. Their once confident faces twisted in horror as they felt themselves growing weaker. "Enough!" one of them screamed. "We cannot withstand their faith." The spirits began to tremble, their dark forms flickering like dying flames. One by one, they dropped to their knees, their voices changing from rage to desperation. "Please stop," they pleaded. "We will leave. We will never return." Pastor Elias stepped forward, his heart filled with divine authority. "By the power of the Almighty, I command you to depart from this land and never defile this river again." With a final, agonized cry, the spirits dissolved into the air, vanishing forever. The river, once tainted by darkness, shimmered with a new light, its waters pure once more. The people of the church wept with joy, knowing that they had been freed from the curse that had nearly destroyed them. From that day onward, the village flourished once again. The sick were healed, businesses prospered, and families were restored. The church grew stronger, and never again did they allow darkness to creep into their sacred waters. They had learned a powerful lesson, that faith, when truly tested, can overcome even the deepest evil. And so, the story of the accursed baptism became a legend in the village, passed down through generations as a warning. It taught them to always be vigilant, to never take the power of prayer for granted, and to remember that even in the darkest times, light will always prevail. If you have enjoyed this story so far, please do well to subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, and invite more people to our channel. God bless you as you do so. Thanks for watching.